It's 7 a.m. and we're waking up in Fairhope, Alabama, and we're going to cover the entire commute from Fairhope, Daphne, the whole Eastern Shore, all the way across the bridge to Mobile, Alabama. So let's get started. Hey, my name is Jeff Jones with Keller Williams right here in the beautiful city of Mobile, Alabama, but today we're on the Eastern Shore. So we're going to take you on a journey from the Eastern Shore across the bridge all the way over to the city of Mobile, and we're going to talk about the journey, the traffic, all the things that you need to know in helping you make your decision if you want to live on the Eastern Shore or if you want to live in the city of Mobile. But people are always reaching out to me. They call the number on the screen, shoot me a message any way they want to reach out because they've got questions about what it's really like in the moving process. So I love getting those phone calls. I love getting those reach outs. But don't forget to like and subscribe because each single week we're dropping a brand new video about this amazing place that I like to call home. All right, so it's just after 7, and the goal is to arrive at my office on Hillcrest Road in Mobile before 8 a.m. So let's see if we can make it happen. All right, the GPS tells us we're gonna make it there by 7:55, approximately 47 minutes. So let the countdown begin. And one thing you'll notice, and you can tell by the scenery, Fairhope is absolutely beautiful. It's very popular for retirees, but people of all ages, honestly. It's a very desired location, and you can tell by looking at it, it's beautiful, but it's a bit of a journey from Mobile. So that's the purpose of today, is to show you what it's really like with the timing and to see whether it's worth it for you. Now, one thing you obviously need to be aware of is whether or not school systems, school zones, school traffic, whether that's going to play a role. And so we're going to talk about that. Obviously, we just rode by Fairhope Elementary and there was zero traffic. Now, that was at 7:14 in the morning, but you never know, depends on your commute, what time you have to be at work, but all those things are very important to take into consideration. All right, so we are officially on 98 and we are headed north on the Eastern Shore, and we're going to take 98 all the way until we connect with I-10. Then we're going to head west on I-10 on the Bayway, or the bridge that everybody talks about. And when we get closer to the bridge, I'm going to go over some details about what's in store for the future. There's a huge project, so be sure and stick around to hear about all those details. So right now, we're actually between Fairhope and Daphne. There's an area called Montrose. And so, as you can tell, there's just not a lot of traffic here, but it's also like 7-something in the morning. So keep that in mind. The traffic in this section is not bad, but we're about to get into a more congested area. And now we're gonna see. This will be where we can really tell whether the traffic is bad, and maybe this will help in your decision. Okay, so here's the deal. This is a really populated area. Of course, you got Chick-fil-A here, and we all love Chick-fil-A. In the Deep South, you got Target. Actually sold a house right off of the road that Target is on. But this is where you're starting to see a little bit of congestion. You've got Old Town Daphne that direction, you got Loxley that direction, and Mobile, well, keep heading north. But here we are at Daphne Avenue as a reference, stuck at a red light. It's about 7:23, and so we're still on track, we're still making good time, but we're gonna give you a few more updates on traffic before we hit the big bridge. Now you can see over here, there's a little bit of traffic for Daphne Elementary School, but hey, it's 7:20 something, 7:25, I didn't have any traffic, no problem, so I guess we're beating the traffic that way, or the majority of it is coming from up north. Now one thing you will notice is there are a lot of traffic lights. We're about to hit another one. It looks like we've got the green light now, but yeah, lots of traffic lights. And so this is just it. Got to have patience, but eventually we will get there. So far we're doing pretty well. About to hit a little more congestion as we're about to get on the bridge. Now if you notice, this is one of the reasons that people move over here. There are lots of restaurants, shops. You got a Bass Pro Shop right over the bridge, a huge shopping center just east of here, the Malbus Center. So lots of things to do. This whole area is just booming, seeing a massive explosion with population, and of course price, for houses, well, that's escalating as well. So as you can tell, everybody's getting in the right lane, getting ready to get on the bridge. Now, one thing to keep in mind is sometimes there's some discussion as to whether you should take the Bayway, which we're currently on, which is the bridge, or whether you should take the causeway. And sometimes it's a gamble, because what happens is people are always checking their maps, Waze, Google Maps, whatever, and they can tell, okay, it looks like maybe the Bayway's a little backed up, and what about the causeway? Is it going to be a little less congested? But honestly, there's so many people that do that. I just don't see a huge benefit between one or the other. So we're going to stay on the Bayway, and we're going to see how it works out. Okay, I mean, this is not the view we were hoping for, but as you can tell, there's a lot of fog. So, it's 66 degrees outside, we're in mid-February, and this just happens sometimes. So, there's signs that say fog advisory, and we have to be aware of that. And the reason why, back around the mid-90s, there was a huge accident, over 100-car pileup, if you can imagine that, and a lot of it had to do with visibility. So when you're driving in fog, it's hard to see in front of you. So both hands on the wheel, you got to be careful. Now, normally, you'd be able to look up and see the RSA tower, but of course, you literally cannot see anything. Now, the cool part about this is, the tunnel, it's like it snuck up on me. So let's go ahead and get some footage of the tunnel. You'll see that we have to be careful, have to slow down. But this is it, going into the tunnel and going underwater. This tunnel's been here for a very long time. And we actually have two tunnels in Mobile. So you've got the George Wallace Tunnel, which is where we are now. And let me turn on the light here. There we go. So you've got the George Wallace Tunnel where we are now, and then next to it, you've got the Bankhead Tunnel. And so the Bankhead Tunnel, it's smaller, have to go slower, but the George Wallace Tunnel is the main way for any type of transportation between Mobile Bay and the Eastern Shore. You have to go through a tunnel, and sometimes it can get congested and backed up, but here we go. And normally, we have a great view coming out of the tunnel, so let's see what we've got here. Now, one thing that's very popular, we've got folks that live on the Eastern Shore that work for Airbus, and there's so much going on with the new downtown airport. So this is where they would turn off, to get to the Brooklyn complex. I can't really see it very well, but there's a lot going on with regard to jobs that are over here in Mobile. And then, of course, there are a lot of folks that work in plants that are up north or in Theodore. So this is the route you would take. We're on I-10, headed west. You got the Brooklyn complex. You've got a lot going on, but this is it. So if you drive from the Eastern Shore to Mobile, this is going to be your view. Okay, so we're exiting the interstate. We were currently on I-10 headed west. Well, now we're taking the Tillman's Corner exit. Now, a lot of folks, maybe they don't work as far out west as I do, and they might take the I-65 north exit. So now, if you didn't know this, Mobile is a connection for I-10, which runs all the way, from California to Jacksonville, Florida. And then you've got I-65 that runs, of course, Mobile all the way up north. As far as you can go. So it's a huge intersection. So a lot of folks will take I-65 north, but we actually went to Tillman's Corner. And at Tillman's Corner, that's going to connect us to Government Street. It's going to connect us through a road called Nevius Road, which then drops off onto Hillcrest Road, which takes you out further to West Mobile. So, a lot of different roads you can take, but this is a growing area as well. You can tell you've got a Starbucks coming up. You've got my favorite chicken finger place, Foosackly's. You've got Whataburger, Super Walmart. Lots of things going on in Tillman's Corner. And so if you want to live in Eastern Shore, work in Mobile, you're going to be looking at this every single day. Okay, so we're on Hillcrest Road right now. It's just before 8. Looks like we're going to make it, so that is good news. But the traffic's not very bad. Now I'm approaching a stoplight, and this is Gerby Road. So we've got Gerby Road, and then the next light we're going to see is going to be Cottage Hill. Now that, I'm expecting some really strong traffic there, because that, we're talking school traffic, all kind of things. But so far, we're doing pretty good. So, just turned green. Okay, guys, this is for real. We actually have the green light, no joke. Oh man, I'm so glad we are documenting this on camera, because we got the green light over Cottage Hill. Now you can tell, there's traffic backed up like a quarter mile there on Cottage Hill, but this was This was good. So, yep, we're almost there. We got about 2 or 3 more minutes. We've almost made it. It caught up with us. So now we're on Hillcrest. We're stuck at the light, Hillcrest and Grelot, and I would say we're about 30, probably 30 to 35 cars deep. So we're probably going to have to sit through another cycle, but hey, that's just part of it. Well, just want to let you know, running a few minutes late. Stuck in traffic, yep, on Hillcrest. I should be there in probably about 5 more minutes. So go ahead and put the coffee on. I'm sorry. I'll see you soon. Well, now that phone call, you might be making that phone call to your boss more often than you would like because, well, these are some of the things you just can't help, but that's just part of it. Living on the Eastern Shore, you're going to be late sometimes. All right, we have made it. We are pulling in to my parking spot here. And let's see what time it is officially. Put it in gear. All right, 8:04. We made it to the office. Now we're a little late, but you know I could have left a little early. So from Fairhope took about an hour. From Daphne took about 40 minutes, and then from Spanish Fort, which was right near the interstate, took about 30 minutes. So the truth is, the commute, well, that's just life if you live on the Eastern Shore and work in Mobile. Is it worth it? Are you willing to make that sacrifice? Or is it just part of it? One thing to keep in mind, a lot of folks who are coming from all around the country, they're used to commutes like that, and 30 minutes, 45 minutes, that's nothing. And that's it, folks. That is the full coverage of the commute from Fairhope, Eastern Shore, Daphne, Spanish Fort, all the way over to the city of Mobile. You know, try to answer everything, but that's impossible. So if you have any questions, drop it below, a comment, or shoot me a message. You know, call the number on the screen, shoot me an email, any way you want to reach out. I absolutely love looking down at my phone. I don't recognize the number, and it's one of you guys who has a question about the process of moving to the city of Mobile or the Eastern Shore. Can't wait to hear from you, but don't forget, like and subscribe because each week we're dropping a brand new video, and I can't wait to show you more about this place that I call home.